throughout the week next week at the teacher's discretion as far as time, just so that you know that's coming. At this time, Mrs. Vogelsinger, our PTO president, has just a few announcements to make.
I just wanted to share with you a little bit of what's been going on with our PTO board this year. I don't know if you know that we raised, if you've read your newsletter that we sent home, you might know that we raised over $9,000 for the walkathon, which is more than we've ever raised before. We're stepping back before Christmas, so you probably all knew that. Also, we've had a lot of good response to our bake sales this year, and we've also raised a lot of money doing our Cooper nights out at restaurants and stuff, and everybody's been really supportive of that, and we really appreciate it. I'll tell you a couple of the big ticket things that we purchased this year that we're using our funds for in school. We designated $5,000 for software, $3 of which is going to kindergarten, first and second grade software, and then the rest is going to be going to 3 through 5, which we had bought from last year for those levels. And also, we're going to be purchasing some lawn furniture that goes out into the canopy out here that we have right now, those great big stone tables and benches that we really don't feel like we're all that safe for the kids and teachers and parents to sit on. So we're replacing those with similar to what is out front, the yellow benches that are out front of the awning is the same type of furniture that we'll be putting out here under the canopy. Although it'll be tables that are like 12 feet long, 2 of those, and some benches. So that's part of what your money that you raised this year is going to be going towards, and we appreciate all of the effort that you all have put forth and all the money that you've spent on all of the bake sales and all of that. Moving on, March the 9th, we are really excited. We're having our talent show at the CAC this year. I don't know if you have ever, hopefully, you've all been to the talent show before. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of a fundraiser because we usually do come out ahead. We don't really try to make it a fundraiser. We really want it to just be a fun thing for the kids to get the opportunity to have some experience of getting up on the stage and doing some fun things with each other. But we would like to encourage you, if your students have not already signed up to do an act in the talent show, we would be happy for you to sign them up as late as next Friday. That'll be the deadline, the 25th. So if you want to help your students be in the talent with them, you might consider that. We have parents that do that every year. And we will be sending home notes about tickets regarding ticket sales for the talent shows. This year we're going to pre-sell them, so we have a better idea of how many tickets we will need, how many seats will be sold since we are having it at the CAC. And also the finale of that show, we're going to have the whole school participate in that. So if you have a student that's not going to be in the talent show specifically, they'll be able to participate in that last performance. So they'll want to come to see that and be a part of it. And one other thing I want to mention, I know that nobody has driven up to this school in the past 6 months and hasn't noticed our garden out front. I want to recognize Julie Lynch. She's back in the back. Julie, raise your hand. I'm sure you've read the newsletter and already heard this, but she's a master gardener. She also has a second grade student, and she's not usually at the program, so I haven't really had the opportunity to recognize her, but I really want to thank her. She had a great group of parents that helped her do that. Several of you I see out here tonight, but that was a huge effort, and we're having a dedication on March the 31st to show our appreciation to the American Legion for that huge contribution that they made, and for Julie and all the other people that donated their time and their products and services. So I hope that you will all mark your calendar. We'll let you know more about that later. It's March the 31st. And one little quick reminder, Sprinkling is April 29th. If you want to help signed up, that's a sign. Get off the stage. Teresa Shoemaker's in charge of that, so you'll be getting guys. Please help if you can with that. It's a lot of fun. We had a great time last year. And now I will introduce Mrs. Coster, the music director. are just wonderful children working on both sides of the brain. That's what everybody's after now, whole brain research, using the right side of the brain, using the left side of the brain to help you learn better. And that's what these first exercises are all about. We have free, and I'd like to remind you that if you want a video, we're hoping that you get your video we're taking up there. You can bring a blank page to school within the next 2 weeks, and we'll try to get that copy for you. There's no charge. Just bring a clean video, please. I'd like to have boys and girls leave their cowboy hats behind and see if they can walk very nicely up to their spots, please. And we'll begin.
There's a seed in the garden. His name is Frank. Something for the
and force. Bush was in Temple at Cater Elementary School this morning for a class on character education. Pat Tucker is live with an update. Pat?
Lauren, the governor has just wrapped up his visit. Students here at Cater Elementary are no strangers to visitors, as TISD's chosen school to show off its character education program. Students, faculty, and parents wasted no time in welcoming Texas Governor George W. Bush. When he arrived at Cater Elementary, he was immediately introduced to Mrs. Mickeltops' first grade class. The first question from a student was asking the governor about his middle name. He quickly responded by telling the student his middle name is Walker. After that, the governor sat with the students and began the character first lesson. Students took turns discussing the meaning of sincerity, this month's character trait. The teacher asked the governor his definition of sincerity. He stressed sincerity by urging the students to be sincere friends. Students presented the governor with a book they signed. Following the lesson, Governor Bush visited students at their desks. The governor urged students again to talk with their parents. Following the classroom visit, Governor Bush met with TISD officials, local dignitaries, and parents. He gave a brief speech about why he chose to visit on the anniversary of the Columbine tragedy. He also briefly discussed a proposal that he says would create a federal law to allow for instant background checks on anyone buying weapons. Now, the governor is now on his way to his ranch. He will be spending Easter weekend there.
Now, Pat, that program has been implemented there in Temple for about 2 years now, right? Was the governor impressed with the progress that they have made with that character education program there at Temple?
Lauren, the governor was very impressed. He even said so himself. He also said that if he is elected president, he plans to increase the amount of money to allocate to such programs nationwide. Reporting live in Temple, I'm Pat Tucker, News Strong 6.
Okay, thanks, Pat. Al Gore also marked the one-year anniversary of the Columbine
To fund such programs.
morning, everybody.
Interactive classroom at Cater Elementary, and not just as a spectator, he actually took part in the lesson about sincerity, this month's character trait. The governor says character education should be taught at a very early age. He also met with faculty and parents, where he stressed the need to prevent future school tragedy by aggressively enforcing existing laws. Governor Bush says a good place to start is by developing better people.
Columbine was a sad lesson, but it's a reminder to all of us to love our children and to be mindful of teaching our children what's right in life and what's wrong in life, so our children can make the right choices when they grow up.
Governor Bush says the country should make it a top priority to keep guns out of the hands of juveniles by sending a clear message that there will be consequences for bad behavior. Now, Governor Bush seemed equally impressed with character education, teaching kids how to be responsible for their actions.
And how much time did he spend talking about gun control issues there?
Actually, very little, Lisa. He stressed wanting to enforce the laws that are currently existing on the books. And he also wants to promote legislation to do instant federal background checks on those who want to buy guns. Reporting live in Temple, I'm Pat Tucker, News Strong 6.
Okay, thanks, Pat.
And while in Temple, we asked Governor George W. Bush about his running mate. This is what he had to say about the prospects of adding former candidate Senator John McCain.
John has said that he's not interested, and I look forward to discussing it with him. I have no lists, short or long lists. At some point in the relatively near future, I'll be talking about, and I'm not going to define relatively near.
Governor Bush confirms that he is set to meet with Senator McCain sometime next week.
Well, Bush's opponent next November, Vice President Al Gore, marked the column this morning and joins us now from our Temple newsroom with more on this special visit. Pat?
Lisa, when the Texas governor wanted to know more about character, he decided to come and visit the experts right here in Temple. And now he says if he becomes president, that program on character education
that we catch these kids at an early age.
The governor says teaching them early will ensure better results.
We need to teach our children right from wrong. We need to teach our children character.
The program highlights specific character traits each month, and educators say the lesson goes far beyond the classroom.
We just integrate it into our daily behavior.
The governor thinks this program may offer solutions across the country.
Our nation is searching our soul and conscience about what we can do as a society to address problems of needless and inexplicable violence.
He says starting in the classroom is a step, but it needs to go even further.
I believe the federal government ought to spend more money on character education.
He hopes to take this lesson about character from the heart of Temple, Texas, to the heart of the nation's capital. Now, the governor did talk a little bit about gun violence, but one of the things he wanted to stress was that he says in order for us to be more safe, we need to focus on enforcing the current laws that are on the books. Now, talking about school safety locally is our reporter, Brian Harris.